Greetings, my kobolds. I'm Ben Pearson, the Roaster Tracker. We are here today with the wonderful roguelike game of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. I know we play this on this channel a bunch. It is such a fantastic game, and I wanted to give a little bit of a tutorial to help some of you guys out there at least understand the basics of it. Now, if you're going to play this game, it can be very challenging. There are a couple of different modes that can make it a little bit easier, and I'll talk about some of those here. First thing to keep in mind is you're picking a background species and a background. So the species is the most important thing. It is what you will be able to ultimately become. There are a bunch of different species that are marked simple to advanced. They all have their own pros and cons, and some of them can make the game a lot easier, some of them can make it more challenging. You have anything from human, which is pretty bland in everything. Doesn't have any particular skills, no special abilities, but they're not really bad in anything either, which can be handy. You can have ones like a merfolk, they can swim in the water, it can be quite cool. You could have draconians that can breathe fire or poison or ice blast or all kinds of cool stuff. And there's such a variety of these characters and a variety of different playstyles that it really is a wonderful game to play over and over. And even once you beat it once, you try a different combination and you can have all kinds of stuff. And then this is a free game, it's open source, it's being continually developed and improved and has been for years. Even just the few years that I've been playing it, it has changed and it is arguably better, although maybe this version took a little bit of a downturn, but yeah, it's hard to say. You definitely lose out on some of the cool species and you get some new ones that are fun. So, just to also give you an idea of some of the background, you can play with humans that are kind of in the middle. You can play with characters that will make some of the choices a little bit easier because it'll take them away. For instance, you can play with demigod, which will give you higher attributes, but you will not be able to use a god, which is a really handy thing in the game. You can play as a Felid, which is a cat that they can't use armor and they can't use weapons at all. Very challenging. You can pass as a genie that has some magical, some fighting types abilities. It's pretty cool. But we're gonna play with what is generally recommended to be the starting combination, although there are a couple of other things. We're gonna play as a Minotaur. And you can see here the backgrounds here. They have the white ones that are suggested and all of the ones that are possible for this species. We're going to play as a Beserker. And generally speaking, Minotaurs have no magic ability. They're the worst at magic, but they're also probably the best fighters in the game, which makes it a lot easier to understand. You don't have to go through the complex magic system to understand how things are going to work here. So, just to kind of give a sense, all of the right stuff is some sort of magic users. These ones are some combination of them, which can be good. These will give you some interesting starts. The zealots all start out with a god ahead of time, which makes that choice a little bit easier. And then a warrior is something geared towards fighting stuff down. Brigand, more towards being a assassin type person, but they can be handy too. Berserker will start us with believing in the god Trog, which is the anti-magic, and since we are a Minotaur and we cannot do any magic, then that sounds like it's a pretty handy idea. So we're gonna go with this. A weapon, you can have a variety of weapons. It's really going to depend what we find later on, although I think we're going to start hand axe. Swords and falchion are not really our strong suit because they require a lot of dexterity, and we just like to bash things, right? We're just a dumb brute. So that leaves us with the mace, the hand axe, and the spear. Spear has some kind of appeal because we can, as a Trog, we can call down a buddy eventually, and with a spear we can, fight through him, and that can be quite handy. They have the advantage of range. Hand axe has the advantage of being able to hit multiple things at a time, and mace will hit the single hardest of the three, and they also do not have a problem of chopping off Hydra's heads, which is a thing in the game. But I think we're gonna go hand axe. We may change depending on what we find early on in the dungeon. You have to be willing to do this. We're starting here with our Minotaur Beserker. And when you start the game, it pops this up, at least if you have it set according to the RC files. RC is kind of a configuration file for the game that you can set a lot of really cool things in there, and I'm not going to cover into there, but you can Google and find some interesting suggested ones. The one that I used came from Quill Teen, although I've modified it a little bit as I've become comfortable with it. There's a lot of them out there. They can make the game a little bit easier and stop you from doing something stupid. In any case, this is the various attributes that we are training. The white ones you see here are the ones that we're training directly. The green ones are indirect, as you gain skill in axes. As you can imagine, an axe, you're sitting there bashing it around. It's kind of similar to a mace. So you gain some skill in axe, and yeah, it kind of translates to maces too. So you can see we have a little bit of kind of sympathetic type skill towards that, but we don't gain a direct skill. It would come in handy if we find a mace somewhere early in the game that was really good. We would be able to use that and switch and not really have any problems, which would be pretty nice. If I hit start here, we'll show actually all of the various attributes. Sorry, I had the wrong window open. Focused. Anyways, you can see here the various skills, and as a Minotaur, we are horrible at magic. This -4 means that it takes twice as long to gain one level of spellcasting as it does for a baseline character. Well, some of the level ups, it may not be quite that bad, but this is horrible. And spellcasting is often a little bit lower, but conjurations, hexes, this is all just really, really bad. Transmutations, we have a little bit of skill as well as earth magic, but those are -2. As a Minotaur, we don't want to mess with magic, and that turns out to be a good reason to select the Berserker for reasons we'll get to in a moment. A couple of other things. Invocations, this is the ability to act in a god's name. Not all gods require invocations. Trog does not, as we'll see in a moment. Evocations is the ability to use things like magic wands, and some items have some special abilities. For whatever reason, Trog hates magic, but he doesn't seem to care about these evocations. So there's that. Throwing, this isn't really magic, but it's throwing darts or javelins or stuff like that. It just kind of fits under there because I don't think they knew where else to put it. We have the various weapon classes. You can see most of them we have a +2, which is excellent. Short blades, we're not as good with them. Long blades, we could do them. The big difference between them, as mentioned, is it requires more dexterity, and we want to be more brute force because that is the Minotaur way. We also have decent armor and dodging skills. Armor will give you a bonus to your armor. The better your armor skill and the more your armor will affect you. And dodging will help you to dodge out of the way. Shields is the same thing except for shields instead of armor, and stealth is how well do you hide. So if we hit star again, we'll go back to just the baseline things, and I'm going to use the equal key to set up our skill targets. You can see down here. So we're going to set a skill target of 4 to fighting. It's probably stupid to do this, but I always like to set
even numbers just because. The axes we're going to set to actually 14 for reasons I'll explain in a moment. The armor we're going to set to 4. Dodging, actually, let's set dodging to 3 and armor to 3. Just to finish the next whole level. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, moving along, let's check out our inventory. We have 2 things with us at the moment. We have a hand axe, which is, not that great of a weapon, but it's a start. And animal skin, which is the absolute worst form of armor that you can have other than no armor at all. And some creatures can't have armor, as we've discussed. So if we select the weapon, I can just click on it, or I can hit A, you can see a bunch of things about it. The biggest thing to pay attention to is this statement. The weapon's minimum attack delays reach a skill level 14. So when we hit that skill level, it will take us 0.6 turns to attack, which is pretty nice. It takes a normal unit 1 unit to move, so we can attack almost twice for what a unit can move. If we had 0 skill, it would take 1.3 turns, so quite a bit more. It should help us out, and you can see how long would it take to reach the various things. It takes 8 experience levels if we were to train nothing but axes, so since we're training a little bit of other stuff, it's going to take us a little bit longer, but it won't be too bad. So you can see some of the other modifiers here, which are occasionally of interest, but that's where the 14 comes from. I always recommend you train to the min delay there. Other things of note, we are going to hit the up caret button, which will show us our god. Now normally you don't start with a god, you have to go find an altar, and I'll show you where the altars are, but because we're a berserker, we start with Trog. Trog, he hates magic, and since we also hate magic, that is pretty nice. He has some pretty good abilities. The Berserk ability is kind of the meat and potatoes ability. This will allow us to go instantly Berserk. Berserk is a condition where we can hit very, very powerfully. We have a little bit more health. We can move faster, and it can be super, super handy. But it also has some downsides. When the Berserk phase ends, we will start to move slower. We also can't use potions or read scrolls or do anything other than really attack when we're in the Berserk state and run. So you gotta use it very, very carefully, but it can be very handy, and I have no doubt we're gonna be using it some. As we gain piety here, and you can see the piety meter here, we have 1 star, you can go all the way up to 6 stars. You gain some additional abilities. All of these abilities will cost a little bit of piety, so that's something to keep in mind. The next level, we can call on Trog for regeneration and willpower. If we're fighting a wizard, we will probably use this, especially if we don't find anything that has a willpower state, so that we can resist some of the magical effects. That is kind of annoying if we don't have that, but it's a nice little ability, and especially if we're going to fight something with like distortion or something that we really want to avoid, we'll use that ability. We can call in some reinforcements. These are actually usually fairly strong creatures that will help us in our battles quite a bit. And eventually, if he likes us, he's just going to gift us some random weapons. If I hit the exclamation point, we can toggle the various menus. You can see Trog's powers are not affected by invocation skill, so we don't have to train invocation at all. He likes it when we kill really anything. Let me pop that back up. He especially likes it when we kill wizards. He gains bonus piety for doing that, which is very, very nice. And that's, well, you can see the wrath, but the wrath doesn't really matter that long. He'll be mad at us for a long time, and he's going to send a lot of things to attack us if we upset him. If we hit the capital A, you can see the other attributes of being a Minotaur. Not all of the characters have one of these, but Minotaurs have a couple. First of all, we have a pair of horn on our heads. If we click this, you can see exactly what it will do. We can try to gore foes when we launch a melee attack. We can't wear a helmet. So that's kind of nice. And it's the second level, so we can wear a hat, but we cannot wear any form of a helmet. So that's kind of nice. And we reflexively headbutt things. If something attacks us, we will try to headbutt them, and there's a decent chance that it will work. And with that, we are going to start exploring our dungeon. So I'm just going to manually move around using the numpad. There are keys you can work this without a numpad, by the way. We're just going to try to keep avoiding anything too dangerous. I'm going to do this so that way we don't see as much. Good. And more importantly, not as much can see us, although they may hear us. We're trying to stay to hallways. Yeah, let me move that cursor out of the way. Because hallways, we're limited to fighting one thing at a time, and we can get swarmed in this game because there's just one of us. Haven't seen anything yet. That's kind of interesting. I hope we see some critters. There we go. I have a hobgoblin. I'm going to go ahead and move towards it, and then we're going to hit the period button to wait for one turn, so it's going to move right next to us, and then we're going to whack it. So that gives us a free hit. Okay. So we're going to move down to the hallway, rest up a bit, and we're good. And we gained a little bit of experience. If I hit M here, you can see our fighting is up just a little scooch. You don't get a lot of experience from a hobgoblin. Ooh, we got a lot of critters. Okay. So we're going to fight them here in the hallway so we can limit our attacks to one at a time. And Trog is accepting our kill, as we can see in the purple text at the bottom. Okay. Gonna just keep doing exploring. Oh, one other thing. We're gonna hit the slash key, and this will allow us to set our items that we're gonna pick up. We're going to pick up darts, javelins, and the box of bees, condenser veins, lightning rod, phantom mirror, tins of tremor stone. I'm gonna pick up spell books. Even though we're Trog worshippers and we don't do spells, we're still going to do that. And you can see the other defaults are usually pretty good. So we're going to do this. So that will just mean if we move over that stuff, it's gonna pick it up automatically for us, which is very handy. If you hit that same key twice, you can see what unidentified stuff that you have not yet identified. Since we haven't identified anything yet, you can see all of the various items that are around. It can be handy, especially if you have an unknown potion and you're trying to figure out what it might be. Got the cockroach there that can spot us. Not surprisingly, the endoplasm woke up. Okay. We have a robe here. Whoops. I'm being a little bit more careless because we have enough experience now where nothing should be able to hurt us on this floor. Unless we run into a knoll. We don't want to be surrounded though by like hounds or something like that. Jackals. Hounds are a little bit later. Ooh, that was nasty. Guess we should have taken that fight a little more seriously. I'm gonna start hitting O so we can auto explore. Oh, we killed the bat by a headbutt. That happens every now and then. You're like, and it didn't leave a body or even a bloodstain. So we found a cloak. We're gonna go ahead and put this on. This will increase our armor a little bit, and it gives us a little cool blue-looking cloak. I'm gonna move up to it and kill this thing. Good. We'll go ahead and get that. Ring of Sea Invisible. This actually will be handy. The last time I played this, that probably would have saved me. Yeah, not worried about fighting a couple of bats at a time. So this is, well, this is an unknown god's altar. We already have a god, so we're not going to do anything. I think we've well, we got a little bit more to explore. Good. Okay, we're done exploring this level. So I'm going to hit Control F, which is find, and I hit period. And that will search everything that is on this floor. So we're going to look to see if there's anything that we should use. This Dagger of Venom would be a really good weapon for a mage. They typically don't start out with weapons other than their magic abilities. Dagger would make that a lot easier. But we don't need it. We're going to let this ball python come to us so we can rest on the stairs. Okay, we have a nice little protection loop. Ooh, an adder. Those are some of the scarier critters, and luckily it did not see us. So we can go kill this hobgoblin, heal up. So he still doesn't see us, but he's going to. If we look at the adder, the big thing that's dangerous for them, they're fast, they swim really fast, and can travel through water, and the big thing is it can poison us, which is kind of annoying. We're going to try attacking it, and we may use our Berserk ability if we need to. I think we need to. Come on, die, die. There we go. So we're going to gain strength. Every 3 levels you get to choose what attribute you're increasing. And here's the attributes here. We want our intelligence at some point in time to be 5, so that way we cannot die to poisoning or to brainlessness, which is really nasty. But generally speaking, we're going to increase the strength, which will increase our weapons and our ability to take armor. We don't really care about dodging. If you have armor, who needs to dodge? That adder fight was really nasty. Maybe we should have avoided it. Young Poisoner Manual, so you can see some of the magic spells. We're not going to do anything with those, but I'm keeping them there just kind of as a example. You can't see me. We don't have anything we could throw at it. So I'm gonna hit T and T. That's gonna tell him to come to me. Okay, that one we managed to kill, no problem. Oh, we got another one. Ooh, man, there were a lot of adders there. I'm glad that we told it to come to us. So we're gonna stay close to here because there is still that other adder, and fighting it just by itself is probably not too bad, but we don't want to fight it with anything else. Okay. No having to use Berserk. Good. Keep exploring. We're at level 4. Beautiful. Worms are very slow, but they hit hard. They're actually some of the smarter critters in the game. Luckily though, he didn't hit us too hard. We were able to whack him. Okay, looking good. The big thing that we really hope we don't run into yet is Sigmund. Sigmund is a really nasty, unique character. There are a number of these unique characters. You only ever find them once per dungeon, and you don't always find them. But Sigmund is the single character that is responsible for the most deaths in this game. Okay, we got some javelins, nice. We're just gonna let you come here. Quokka is a type of rat. Real life one, actually. I learned. So we have Crazy Uf. His deal, he has a quarterstaff of chaos. That chaos is not it's a kind of risky thing. All kinds of crazy stuff can happen, and we're not gonna attack him yet. We will eventually get there. Okay, we see some gloves. We're gonna pick those up. Just start auto-exploring because at this point in time, well, Natasha is a cat. Now, we mentioned cats, they cannot have weapons or armor. They tend to be magic type users as a result, although they do have some nasty claws. They also have more than one life, so they die and they will come back. We killed Natasha very easily that time. Natasha can do some summoning and some magic darts, just some basic spells. She's just really not that great of a spellcaster, but, you know, can cast a spell or two. But she will come back up to 3 times. Always. Well, she'll come back twice. So we're gonna see if we can spot Natasha. We'll kill the rat though, just because. Because if we beat Natasha once, we can beat her again. And gain some more experience. Huh. This level layout can be kind of hard to spot her. So we're just gonna shout a few times. And hopefully she'll come running. Is there anything of interest on here, actually? So we have a god altar. We do have leather armor, which is a scooch better than what we're wearing. Actually, let me show this. So our AC is 5 and 12 with the leather armor. We gain 1 AC without losing any of our ability to move. So that's handy. I'm just gonna pick a random spot and move here. Okay, there's Natasha again. We're gonna come right up to her. So she summoned an imp, which is kind of annoying, but not too bad. Let's move this way. She'll spawn at a random spot in the level. There's also a Boris that you'll see sometimes. I've very rarely seen him, and Boris will resurrect on different floors. I'm gonna go Berserk. Because we need to make sure we finish that one. Okay. And that is Natasha's last life, so we are good. Okay. Hound will be nasty. Well, maybe. Jessica is another magic user, a more human one, I believe. She has some kind of annoying abilities. Pain is the worst one that can do a little bit of damage. She can also slow us, and she can blink around, which is the annoying bit. I'm actually gonna Berserk here. Trog really appreciated that we killed the magic user. So yeah, that Dagger of Venom, they're no joke. Reading our scrolls, we have a bunch of unidentified scrolls, but we only have one of them, so if we read them, we can't use them. Ooh, we have a enchanted axe of electrocution. That's very nice. We're actually gonna start using that. So it has +2, so it's good, and it has the brand of execution. If we look at it, hits all enemies adjacent to the wielder. It discharges some electricity. The electricity will do some bonus damage to things. So it's actually set to B, which is fine. Well, B, I'm gonna adjust this to A. I always like to have the primary weapon on A, because then you can hit the single quote space and it will do that. I'm gonna back up 1. So we're just fighting these guys one at a time. Although they're not gonna be a problem. Okay. This is a nice find for us. will allow us to do much more damage. I think we're just gonna wait here. We could get surrounded. Ooh, turns... doesn't see us yet. So we're gonna back off a little bit, heal up. Terrace isn't too bad, but I didn't want to fight him with anything else. He is just a Lee user. Yeah. Can hit a lot of damage. He has some nice armor though that we really would like to steal. Just attacking him. Yeah, I didn't think there was a need to go berserk there. So we're gonna take that. Gonna put on our armor. Drop the leather armor. And there we go. So the positive energy is not great, but the scale armor is much more powerful. You see our AC is now up to 11. We did lose a couple of points of evasion, but the armor will more than make up for that. Generally speaking, you want to add the AC and EV together, and whichever armor gives you the highest score, that's the one you want to go for. The stronger you are, the less the EV will drop, and also the less magic encumbrance. So strength can be a good thing for a wizard to train occasionally. Looks like the lizard ate a couple of humans. Interesting. We're just gonna hit auto explore for a scooch. I don't want to go down. There we go. Much easier to kill the adder now with this axe. Let's let him come to us. Dart slugs, they can fire stuff at us, so we're gonna go up to it and attack. The kobold can also fire at us. We're gonna hide here, let him come closer, and then whack him. So he can't throw stones at us for as long. We're gonna stay here and electrocute you. Good. Ooh, we found an amulet. A faith. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use this. So if we look at the amulet, it will allow us to gain divine attention quicker. However, it will lose some if we ever remove it. We're gonna go ahead and put it on. If we lose a little bit of our divine favor, it's not a big deal, but having more will make it so we can berserk more often, use friends, all of that stuff. So is there anything worthy here? This robe of willpower could be decent if we were a magic user, but we hate magic. In fact, this willpower is kind of nice. Still don't have any duplicate scrolls, and potions, we got a bunch. Ooh, we got shafted. Oh, just one floor. Let's look around a little bit because we found an up staircase and make sure that this is going to be a safe area to come back to. Black bear. I'm gonna back off, but we should be able to take him. We're just gonna go berserk first, though, just to make sure. Good. And see, the bear also goes berserk. Only have the javelin. We're gonna throw the javelin at this scorpion. Good. Didn't even need to go berserk. Excellent, so let's go back up. Now that we know this area is fairly cleared. Gonna hit auto explore just because. You see the path that we're walking. We'll let them come to us. You get careless for a moment in this game and it will kill you. I've had it happen many times. We're gonna back up. The slug will still follow us. But we're gonna wait around the corner until we can just come and whack him instead of letting him attack us. So this orc, he has a axe of flaming, okay. We're gonna keep, well, I'm gonna keep the axe of flaming as a backup. It's a +2 even, because if we ever go and fight a hydra, then we can use a flaming axe and we'll chop off its heads. and leave them off, as opposed to if we use the electrocution axe and we chop off a head, it will grow back with 2 more. So we've reached level 7, our axe skill is up to 9, and that's the only thing that we're currently training, which is very nice. Okay, we found another upstairs. Let's just keep going. Another black bear and a goblin. I'm not even gonna bother to berserk this time unless we need to. Yeah. Dagger of protection, that's interesting. We almost certainly didn't need to last time, but sometimes you'll find black bears that they're often very challenging. So the first one I wanted to be a little bit overly cautious. But generally speaking, if something's yellow, it's probably not too bad. I'm gonna let this advance one, and then we're gonna throw, well, we have more javelins now. Throw javelins at them because it will go through the stacks of enemies. And we just killed a bunch of them without even being in range. Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll check to see what armor, if anything, is here. Nothing better than what we've got. So we're gonna go back down. We're finding all the scrolls, man, but we're only finding one of them. Got an imp. Imps are kind of annoying. They will tend to blink out of the way, but for a melee basher like we are, they're not too bad at all. For magic users, they can be very rough. Ooh, we got the temple. An ogre shouldn't be too bad at this point in time. I'm a little more worried with the magic users because they can confuse you and makes it very difficult to attack. Okay, but we're good. It was only one magic user, and we have the ability to see invisible. Those orc wizards, they can go invisible. This is the temple. This is where you would normally pick your altar. If you hit Control O, you can see the various gods. They are all quite unique, have neat abilities and costs. I'm not going to go into those because we already have our god. Centaur. So what I'm going to do is move here. I'm going to shout because I want the centaur to come here. If you're right next to a centaur, they will not use their bow. So you always want to be right next to them. Their bow, they're quite deadly actually. But without their bow, they're not that great. So we got another god, including Zom, the god of chaos. It's everyone's favorite. And we have the Shining One, who is the god of really doing the endgame. A Vorpal Spear, that's not that great. Vorpal is just like sharper. It's generally all around better, but it's not particularly good. We're gonna move into here so we gain a little bit of protection from fighting more than one thing at a time. Okay, no big deal. So let's take a look and see what's on this floor. +3 chainmail. Hello. That will be good. So we're at 11 and 10. We put this on and we'll be at 14 and 9. Yes, and the positive energy doesn't really make a huge difference at this point in time. This is what? Like 12 unidentified scrolls. That's crazy. We got another ring. Let's go ahead and put you on. Ring of corrosion resistance can be extremely handy in the right spot. We got a troll. Okay. How are we gonna deal with you? Let's try to poison you. So I'm gonna throw some poison darts at you. None of them are gonna hit. We will go berserk. We're gonna whack it. So it was red, which we know is a harder thing, so we're gonna take it seriously. The hound's not too bad. We have pretty good armor, actually, for where we are. Not great, but not bad. Okay, nice. Just auto-exploring. I'm not really worried about anything that we might find. Orc warrior, ooh. So we have a better axe there. That could be very good. He has a polearm, so I'm gonna do a trick here. We're gonna wait here, he's gonna come right next to us. And then, good. He can't get a bonus attack on us. Oh, hey Troc, we're gonna just pray to you just because we're here. Vorpal Borax. Maybe I'll pick it up. We're confused. Well, that's nice. Let's just wait until, okay, no longer confused. Have a spell book, which is fine. 2 nulls will be fine. At this point in time. The phantoms can be very annoying for magic users because they are hard to hit, but we will be able to bash it no problem. They like to blink you around. This level's pretty empty at this point in time, so I'm not too worried about randomly being transported somewhere. We've probably gotten almost everything, yeah. Cool. We have a Ring of Flight. We're not gonna use that yet, but it could come in handy. Roar of Battle, okay. That is what's called a timed portal. So there are a bunch of branches where you can go into different things. And I'm reading the Identify. Identify is the most common scroll, and I'm just identifying potions. That's usually the thing to do. We're gonna drop the Brilliance because that only matters for magic. And same with the magic. You. Interesting. Anyways, the time portal. So if we hit Control O again, you can see all of the branches that we've been to. We've only been in dungeon. We will start to go to other branches soon. You can see we're at floor 7 of 15, currently in dungeon. We're not going to go to the bottom of dungeon for a while though. And we've also been to temple, but the gauntlet here is a special portal that we'll risk visiting. Oops. Let's berserk. These hornets are really annoying. And we're gonna gain some strength. Okay. We've hit level 14 on axes. Excellent. So we're gonna get a little invocation skill so we can improve our wand ability, and we're gonna gain some fighting, which will help us to fight better, but it will also help us to gain more health points, which is very handy. And let's get some armor and some dodging. We're gonna close the door and we're going to... This is bad. Ooh, we made it. So, we may have lost our portal by doing that, but... Okay. We're slower, which is not great. We'll still attack him, finish him off. The lights, they're not too bad if you're riding them one at a time. Creek of a portal is very nearby, so we're close to the gauntlet, but it's also almost dead. So I'm gonna keep advancing, acting like the turns aren't mattering much. Very distant, ooh. So it was very nearby over here. So it must be close to here. Maybe here? Where else could it be? Must be here? Quick creaking of a portalus that's... I think that means that it's gone. So we've lost... Oh, of a distant. So it hasn't gone away yet. But if we don't find it soon, then we will lose it. This could be it. It's a very distant, oh boy. So this is not it. Must be in this area. Very nearby. Here we go. Oh, there, it's probably in here, okay. Yeah. Oh, they're all popcorn. We're gonna... Oh, it disappeared. So this was the entrance. Why is it wanting me to pick up a potion of degeneration? Like, no. I don't want a potion of degeneration. So we missed our opportunity. There's often some good stuff in there, but they can also get you into a lot of trouble. So it's probably fine that we missed that. I get about half of them, and I die in far too many of them. Okay, we're looking good. Got the wizard, it's gonna confuse us, but this is a single file line. I'm not too worried. Yeah. It's when they confuse you when you're surrounded by enemies that it's a real problem. We got some other god altars. This guy also has a polearm. He has a trident. So we're going to do the same trick that we did before. We're going to wait for him to show up right next to us. Yeah, we were fighting two at a time, but we have an axe. It's not too bad for relatively easy things. Is there anything worthwhile here? Nah. We would have gotten some plate armor if we had been able to get into the gauntlet. Whatever the portal was, but that's okay. Scroll of Fog, that's nice. We got Amnesia, which we do not need at all. That's to forget magic spells. So we're gonna drop Amnesia. Fog and Fear can get us out of some sticky situations. Let's keep exploring. Got some critters here. Let's back up. So only one can use a polearm. Ooh, let's get the priest. The orc priests are really nasty because they have an ability called Smite that can hit you wherever you are. They don't have to have line of sight. It can go through characters. So you want to kill those pretty quickly. Thinking about... No, we're good. Thought about berserking up there, but we do not need to. We've got a book. Okay, let's do some auto-exploring. Identify, that's nice. Bees can be very, very nasty because of their poison. We're gonna attack them one at a time though, and that will make it much, much easier. But if they swarm you, man, they're rough. The acid dragon's not going to be as big of a deal because we have corrosion resistance ring. There's another one. Rarely see two of those in the same spot. As you can see here, Here, resist corrosion. You can hit the % sign and you can see all of your status as well, which can be nice. Okay, do some more auto exploring. A bunch of whites. We'll let them attack us here, so we could be in theory attacked by 2 at a time. One with a pole arm, and one with the melee weapon right next to us. And then the 2 pole arms are the last ones. Good. Got them. Do they have anything worthwhile? They often have some really good weapons. We got a yak. That's interesting. Let's fire our poison darts at the yak, actually. See if we can take it down a little bit. Good. Yeah, there's usually more than one yak. You almost never see just one by itself. We're not going to be very good at this because we have no throwing skill trained, but it's still worthwhile. Nope. Red jelly. So this is a store. I think we're gonna buy the gloves because we don't have that great of gloves. We don't know what we're gonna get though. +1 gloves of the jackalope. So these are strictly better than what we're wearing. We gain a little bit of strength and we also gain 1 more armor point. All good stuff. Anything else worthy? The thing with an artifact though is you can't make it better. There are some scrolls that will allow you to make things, some armor and weapons better, but you cannot make a scroll better. Okay, I don't think there's anything here. Have we found any boots yet? No. So we have, how about a hat? Nope. All right, moving on. Dungeon level 9. Got a ring here. Of intelligence, yes, we can toss you safely because we are not some little nerd waving around their hands doing crazy stuff. We don't like those nerds. Even if I probably would be one if I was playing this game. Whack whack. Orc warriors, they're a little bit of a concern, but they're not too bad. We have the identify scroll. Yeah, let's use that. Cancellation. Interesting choice. Cancellation can get you out of some binds. They will cancel any of the attributes other than poison and a few things like that, including the good. But they can definitely get you out of some things. They're the best way to remove marks, which are basically you being super noisy, attracting everything in the dungeon to you. There are lots of fun marks, but with the cancellation you can get rid of it. Let's just take the wizard on. Okay, not bad. Poison resistance, we might have to get you eventually, but we're not going to yet. Heal wounds, that's a nice little safety feature to have. He has a wand of charming, which we'd kind of like that. That will allow us to take over somebody. What is this? I don't know what this thing is. Okay, good. Hornet should not be as scary this time. We're gonna back away though, so we can fight it away from anything else. It'll slow us down, which is kind of nasty. I should have gone into this hallway actually. Do some more auto exploring. We've got a slime creature. One by itself is not bad. When you find a bunch of them, you have to attack those differently than you do other things. We're confused now. If we look at their spells, you can see they have Confuse, Invisibility, Magic Dart, and Throw Flame. They're really pretty annoying, but they're not that great. Well, +6 Hand Axe, Orb Guardian's Doom, Drain Arlec Dexterity. That is probably a nicer weapon than we're wearing, so we're gonna use that as our primary weapon. I'm gonna drop this Hand Axe of Electrocution. So Drain will give a little bit of extra damage and also drain some of the stats from them, making them easier to hit in the future, which is quite handy. And the fact it's +6 is good. Let's get their Potion of Flight. Not likely to need that, but when you need flight, you need it. How are we doing with our wands? Mind Burst may come in handy. So you can see the, ooh. Anytime, first time you fight a two-headed ogre, always take it seriously. Especially when we snuck up right next to us. So we're gonna actually leave here. Heal up fully, good. Whew. It's always a big milestone, the first two-headed ogre that you successfully kill. Because they will mess with you. We're gonna put this on instead of the corrosion. So that will help make us a little bit more immune to battle, to being attacked. What's our armor? Chainmail +3. So just base plate mail is not going to be better. Centaurs can move fast, so we're actually going to go up to it and attack. The Unseen Horde, you can't see them unless you can see Invisible, but if you can see them, they're actually fairly easy to kill. And now we can set our training attributes again. We're going to start training to 18 in Hand Axe. And we're gonna get our fighting up to like 12. So let's keep auto-exploring. Oh, there's Lair. Lair is the first branch that we're going to visit, and we'll be there soon. But we're not gonna go there quite yet. I always like to buy the unidentified things because you get them at a pretty steep discount. See, the Amulet of Faith is worth a lot here. The chainmail, maybe. How much was it? How much do we have? There's a decent chance that it's better than what we have, so let's take it and... Actually, I'm gonna use that over... It's slightly less damage, but it gives us willpower, which will allow us to resist magic better. Good. There's usually more than one yak. Whenever you find one, we're going to toss some darts at it until it gets close, and then it's poisoned. Poison of close will slowly leak away their health, although they, you know, get cured of it after a while. We're gonna fire some more poison darts. Ooh, a Cyclops. Cyclopses can be nasty because they can throw big rocks at you. Even when you're close, they still like to throw those big rocks at you, but we got them. No big deal. Didn't even have to go berserk. Or as I sometimes like to say, put on our party hat. Don't know why I like to say that, but I do. There's just one. We'll go ahead and get you. Oh, there's two. That's okay. Apparently there's four. Well, that was a surprise. Just a bunch of kobolds. No. Snorg! He is a unique. So we're gonna come here, so we're gonna fight things one at a time. Not gonna go berserk. Okay, we are gonna go berserk now. We killed the hard thing, so even if we lose our berserk, I wouldn't worry about killing those guys at all. So we're gonna rest here in a room by ourselves. Good. Got some identifies. Haste. Lig. Oh. I hate when I do that. Attraction. We might actually use that. So we wasted the scroll of fog. That's gonna be a pain. Usually when we kill that guy, we get some decent stuff. Rapier of Harmony. For the right character, this would be a really good weapon, but we're not going to use you. I'm gonna wait, yeah. Centaurs are smart enough where they're not gonna come right up to us. Ugly thing, if it's just one, we'll be fine. But I will put on our party hat for it. So we found a 5-headed Hydra. This is why we have this weapon. With the flame, oh dear. You can see it's a 5-headed Hydra, now it's a 4-headed Hydra, 3-headed, 2, 1, and done. Let's get upstairs and heal. That was a bad time to lose our Berserk. That's why I should not really explore when we're in that state, especially dangerous looking areas like this. We're at Dungeon 10, so we're getting to actually a fairly risky point. Pyromancer. So you have just a bunch of fire spells. We're gonna actually come here, wait, and let you get close and whack you to death. We're gonna close you out. Oh, these things are really super annoying, so we're gonna actually go berserk for it. Even though it's only a yellow. I'm trying to decide. I think we're gonna go here, close that door, and then rest here. Yeah. Looks like that was a reasonably good thing. See the short sword of distortion. That is dangerous. We do not want to come anywhere near Sonja because we may end up in the abyss and we would not likely survive there. So we're just gonna blast her. And that worked out quite nicely. 2-headed ogre. We're probably okay. How about the Cyclops though? 2. Fudge. This is bad. Can we charm? We could charm the yak. How about this guy? I'm gonna try to charm the 2-headed ogre. So now he's on my side. Now he's not on my side. Can we mind burst? That's a better chance, yeah. Howler monkeys, they're loud, but otherwise okay. We'll go ahead and take him on. Okay, we're gonna rest. Go upstairs, rest, good. That was a little bit risky. We should finish clearing out this area, I think, first. We've got a bunch of scroll books. Too bad there's no manuals. Manuals will allow you to train skills faster. It's not too much, but we're gonna go ahead and let them come closer to us as a matter of good practice. Let's move away. Yeah, that's not gonna do much good. Okay. There's a lot of good loot here, though, on this floor. Evening Star of Protection. Maybe? I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. Evening Star is the best one-handed mace. So if we end up doing a shield build, we have a four-headed Hydra. Nice. Let's switch over to our flamey axe. Then we'll chop off some heads. Level 12. Good. Got a troll, which should be no big deal now. Okay. Blink will allow us to escape from danger if we need to. Teleportation. I would have used some of these if we had found them earlier. Let's take the wizard out. Then we'll move and let the orc get right next to us. Okay, 1B at a time. No longer as worried, and we have axe magic, as people like to call it. And I definitely like to call it that. Because you can hit lots of characters all around you. Do we have axes? What? We've not found a broad axe yet. Amulet of the Acrobat, we're gonna drop you. It is no longer as good as it used to be. And the Amulet of Faith, really, you have to kind of go with it for a while. We're not going to drop our faith at this point in time. We rely heavily on those abilities. Okay, no big deal. We have a Sentinel mark, which is not too bad for us at this point in time. Okay. Dungeon 11, at this point in time, ooh, we are coins being counted. I really wish we had not done this. I was just gonna poke my head in here just to see if there was anything interesting right at the door, but there's actually two different events that are timed portals. One is a bazaar that we can go shopping. We don't have a ton of cash, but we will see if we can find it. And one is the gauntlet. It's not the gauntlet, it's the maze. Whatever that is. 5-headed Hydra. So we're going to switch over to our flamey axe. Fight him in the doorway, so we're only fighting one thing at a time. Good. Our axe magic is getting up there. Let's go to fighting 16 and armor 10 and dodge 10. Go back to our drain. We'll steady toll of a bell nearby. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. Trying to kill the priests. Good. Toll of a distant bell, so we're going in the wrong direction. Oh, weapon does he have? That's a great mace. It's a two-handed mace. Okay. I'm not gonna mess with this guy, and I want to do this quickly, so we're gonna Mind Burst. He's a little bit more powerful than the ones we have been fighting. Very nearby. There's the Flicker of the Bazaar. So we're gonna explore here, see what kind of shops we have. Nothing interesting. We could buy the lightning rod. I always will buy the unidentified scrolls at those types of stores. So we can't come back here. That's pretty expensive for heal wounds. There's really not much great here. Only thing I'm even tempted is the lightning rod. How much money do we have? We don't have that much money, so we're gonna leave. Distant snort. So the vibration was probably because the bazaar went away. It may have been because the Minotaur went away. Although I'm not seeing any more callouts to it. Oh, we have a trove here. Oh, okay. There it is. Yeah. So we missed out on that. Darn! We're missing all of the portals this time. That's okay, we're doing fine. Great mace that Trog gave to us, so that's kind of nice. Kill the wizard. I'm gonna wait here so we can try to do things a little bit more one at a time and kill the priest first. Good. I figure we may as well finish clearing out this level because we've gotten most of the hard stuff out of here. And we'll have a decent chance of finding some treasure. Nope. Okay, now we're gonna go, so I hit Control G, go to Layer 1. Well, hello, Mr. Hydra. Keep going, good. Good thing we have that Hydra axe. Jeez. We found a better axe yet? No. Some of the best stuff, and it's really too bad we couldn't have made it to the Minotaur. There's usually some really good stuff in there. But it's pretty risky too. Death Yak is really scary. Not so much for the single Death Yak, but the fact that there's going to be more than one. Let's go Berserk, actually. So, Lair is a different branch here. We're doing okay. That many wolves can be a little scary. But we're seeming to only have them come at us a couple at a time, which isn't too bad. More auto explore. These are just normal yaks. These aren't too bad. Okay. Keep auto exploring. Water moccasin will let it come to us. Good. I mean, for the right guy, that could be pretty good, but that is not our weapon. So this is Grum. He is known for raising wolves. He has a spear that makes it a little bit annoying. He always has 4 wolves near him. Okay. Anything interesting here? No. Go down. Not too shabby. Let's take these guys up the stairs so we don't fight too many of them at a time. And we're gonna go down a different set of stairs. Bees, we're far enough where they're not gonna hurt us. They're really scary early on, but even with a, well, that's a really good axe. I think we're actually trained so that we can use it. Although we would love to find a brand weapon. There's a lot of bees here. Wow. Let's identify another potion. Scroll of Silence. That will work well for us. Is there any other... We can't use any of our scrolls, of course, because we're silenced, but we're not really that likely to use them anyways. Hearing returns. Okay. Scroll of Silence is a nice way to keep people from using magic on you. So that broadaxe we're going to turn into a mighty weapon soon. A lot of stuff here. This is kind of an interesting layered level involved. I don't recall it. Oh, okay. We have the honeybees. No surprise with as many bees as we've seen. Lindworm shouldn't be too bad. Got some bees. We have our first ghost vault. So what is there in here? Potion magic, unidentified, and a scroll that we have not yet read. So we're gonna come over here just to kind of limit the amount they'll be surrounded. They don't like to move away from me when I'm here because they're stupid, and they don't like to swarm, so it's a little bit less likely to get swarmed if you're like this. They're handy, and it's not like it's that big of a deal. We got swarmed there and it wasn't too bad. Okay. Bunch of bees. Luckily we got the axe magic, and we're pretty strong at this point in time. Especially since we have no resistance to poison yet. Which means that they can actually hurt us quite nicely. But we have a lot of health points, which goes a long ways towards minimizing the effect of poison. Okay. Tell you what, we're going to break this up here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know whatever questions or comments you guys have, and we will continue with this tutorial next time. Thanks guys for everything. Take care.